start recording. Okay, I'm just going to pop the presentation back on the screen. Okay, so as I mentioned, welcome to the Foods and Nutrition Intent to Register session. This session will be geared more towards first-year students, but there will be some information in the presentation for upper-year students as well. So just before we get started, I really quickly wanted to chat about nursing, because we do often get questions about nursing from our foods and nutrition students. So if you are a student that's looking to apply to nursing, it is important to note that this can be done through the intent to register process in March. So when that intent to register is live, you will see a nursing specific link available on the intent to register application site. This is a separate application from your current program. So if you apply to nursing, it won't impact your intent to register for foods and nutrition. Or if you're a upper year student, your eligibility to graduate. There are some links provided if you want to learn a bit more about nursing. And then the next few slides will walk students through the requirements for the Western Fanshawe Collaborative four-year program, and then also the compressed time frame. I'm not going to go through this information today, but the slides will be available afterwards on our website. So if you do want to learn a bit more, you can visit the slides and read through the information. So today we're going to be focusing on the Foods and Nutrition program and what that looks like in terms of intent to register. So what is intent to register? Many of you are likely first-year students and you are still learning how to navigate the intent to register system. So the intent to register, short for ITR, which I will say throughout the presentation, it is your opportunity to let Western know that you are returning the following year and what program and module you wish to be considered for. So all first-year students that plan to come back next year will need to fill out an intent to register. As a first-year student, you are in a general first-year program, so you need to declare on your intent to register which module, and we're going to talk about those in a little bit, that you want to study for next year. If you are joining the group and you are a senior level student, you only need to submit an intent to register if you're making a change to your module or your program. If you are planning to just simply continue in your current program or module, you do not need to complete an intent to register. Intent to register will open February 26th and it will remain live until April 2nd. So just to provide you with a brief timeline for this, in May, the Foods and Nutrition Advising Office will evaluate your academic work when your final grades are posted. So this is called adjudication. And what we're doing during adjudication is we're cross-checking that you have the academic average, the correct courses to enter into your module that you indicate on the intent to register. In June, you'll find out which program you've been placed into by logging into your student center. And then in July is when you'll select your courses for the next academic year. And a specific date will be posted. The course dates will happen based on the year that you're in. So fourth-year students will register first, third years, and then second-year students will register at the end of the July period. How you complete an intent to register is pretty simple. So it is through the Student Center. I've provided a screenshot on the screen for how this actually happens. So when you log into the Student Center, you'll click on the Academics tab, and then you'll see a Program Status tab. And then on the left-hand side, you'll see the intent to register form, which I've circled in red there. It is important to note that you can access the system as many times as you wish during the ITR period. But it's important to note that your most recent submission will save. So if you are in there playing around with things, just make sure that your final submission is the one that you'd like to be considered for by the end of the intent to register period. There is a step-by-step guide on the Office of the Registrar website. So again, when the slides are posted, you can click into the link. I'll just load it very briefly on the screen. I think you should be able to see it there. But it is a 5-page guide that will walk you through information that I'm letting you know today, but this is more around how to actually fill out the intent to register. And I will do a demo at the end. So some of the screenshots that you're seeing in this guide will be included in my demo at the end of the session today. So I'll walk you through what it actually looks like to submit the application. So if you are a first-year student, you may not even be familiar with the module systems yet, or you may have briefly been introduced to them during our summer orientation session. So a module is simply a program of study. So we offer various modules, major, minor, specialization, and honor specialization. In the foods program, you'll notice that we offer only honor specialization and specialization modules. So if you are looking at studying foods and nutrition, it will be one of those modules on the right-hand side. So we have our honors specialization in nutrition and dietetics, and that's our accredited module if students want to become a registered dietitian in Canada. We have our honors specialization in foods and nutrition, and we have our specialization in foods and nutrition. So your current module, if you are a first-year student, is a 4-year Bachelor of Science, Foods and Nutrition. So you're in a general first year. And that is why it's very important that you submit the intent to register, because we need to know which module on the right-hand side you're looking to be considered for your second year. We also offer some concurrent and combined degree programs. So if you are a student looking to combine 2 degrees in 5 years, these may be an option for you. So within our concurrent degree programs, we offer a partnership with kinesiology. So we have a 5-year kind of outline of courses that you can take, which would qualify you to receive a 4-year Bachelor of Science, Foods and Nutrition with that honors specialization in nutrition and dietetics, with a 3-year Bachelor of Arts with a major in kinesiology. And then we also have a partnership with Health Sciences, where students can receive a 4-year Bachelor of Science, Foods and Nutrition with an honors specialization in nutrition and dietetics, with a 3-year Bachelor of Health Sciences major in Health Sciences. If you're more on the business side, we also have a partnership with the Ivy Business School at Western, where you can get your 4-year accredited honors specialization in nutrition and dietetics with a 4-year Bachelor of Arts in honors business administration with the Ivy Business School. If you are looking to pursue one of these concurrent or combined degree programs, you do need to submit what we call a manual intent to register. So you won't see these options listed on the online system. So you'll need to contact the advising office, that's the fnsinfo@uw.ca email, and we'll be able to manually key in an intent to register that indicates your interest in these concurrent programs. Just moving on to degree types. A 4-year degree would consist of 20 credits, and this will be what you will be pursuing as a student in foods and nutrition. If you're looking at studying an honors degree, you'll notice that there is some progression requirements as well that you must meet. So with an honors degree, students need to have a 70 to a 75% modular average, and that depends on which module you're studying. Our dietetics module needs a 75%, where our foods and nutrition honors module needs a 70. Within an honors degree, no module course can be below 60%. You need to have a 65% cumulative average. That's across all your credits completed and no course failures. With a non-honors program, you need to have a 60% cumulative average. That would keep you in good academic standing. The university does offer 3-year degrees, which are 15 credits, but as I mentioned previously, because the foods program only offers specialization and honor specializations, you're not eligible for a 3-year degree. You need to complete a 4-year degree to do a foods degree with us. Just a quick checklist on the right-hand side. These are graduation requirements, so all students need to have at least 5.0 1,000 level credits, but you can count up to 7 1,000 level credits towards your degree. So that means that you need to have a minimum of 13 senior level credits if you are taking the 7 first-year courses. If you're taking 5 first-year courses, you would obviously have 15 senior level credits. You need to have your breadth requirements completed. That's category A, B, and C. And then you also need to have 2.0 essay designated credits. I'm just going to leave that question in the chat till the end because I will get to this a little bit later. So just wanted to pop up on the screen a nice visual of the different module combinations that you can pursue as a student. So within the honors bachelor degree, your primary program would be an honors specialization as a foods and nutrition student, but you can also add an additional major or an additional minor if you choose to do so. Within the bachelor degree, as a foods and nutrition student, your primary would be a specialization, but then again, you can add an additional major and an additional minor if you choose to do so. In terms of additional modules, it's not mandatory to select an additional module. If you don't wish to, you don't have to. Minors are not printed on your diploma, so it is important to note that if you are pursuing a minor, it will only be on your academic transcript. Students sometimes aren't aware of that, so it's important to note that it won't actually be on the degree. If you are doing a major, it will be. Additional modules do not impact admissibility to professional programs, so they don't necessarily make your application any more competitive, etc. Adding additional modules may increase the amount of time it takes to complete your degree, and that's particularly true if you are doing an honors specialization in nutrition and dietetics, because that module does have 11.5 module credits in it. So to do an additional module, it does take careful planning and not a lot of room for electives. So I do sometimes see students needing an additional semester to complete an additional module. And additional minors and majors can be dropped or added at any point. So if you do decide to add one this year and then you feel like it's not working out for you, or you change your mind, it can still be removed. And that's when you would submit an intent to register to have that updated at each academic year. I'm going to quickly walk you through the progression requirements for our 3 different modules. So if you are a student that is looking to pursue an honors specialization in nutrition and dietetics, you'll need to have no failures in the first year, with an overall average of 75%, with no grade below a 60 in the core first year required courses. So that will be common across all of our modules, these courses. So first year chemistry, 1301, 1302, biology, 1290, physiology, 1021 or equivalent, and then our foods and nutrition, 1070 and 1241. So again, overall of 75 in these principal courses, no grade below a 60. If you're looking to pursue our honors specialization in foods and nutrition, the same courses will be required, but it'll be an overall average of 70%, so 70 instead of that 75, with no grade below a 60% in these courses. And then if you're a student looking to pursue a specialization in foods and nutrition, same courses again, but for this one, there'd be no overall average, just a minimum grade of 60% in those courses. If you are in the group and you're an upper year student and you're looking to pursue nutrition and dietetics, so we see this a lot where students may not meet the cutoff after first year or after second year, but they still want to graduate from this module. What we're looking for is that you have a 60% grade in all module prerequisite courses. Because you're between years, we also need to see that you're progressing in your upper year courses. So we would need to see a minimum grade of 60% in any senior level module courses completed at the time of adjudication in May, with an overall average of 75% in all of those senior level module courses that you've completed at the time of adjudication in May. And then you need to have an overall cumulative average of 65% and no course failures. I believe this will help answer the question that was in the chat. I'm just going to circle back and double check. Yeah, so the question in the chat was if we get less than 65% in a course, so it would be 60% in a course and plan to retake it in the summer, is that fine? Yes, so we do re-adjudicate a student's file after completion of summer courses. For example, if you receive a grade below 60% in chemistry 1301 during the fall, you can choose to repeat it in the summer. If you do meet the 60% grade after summer, then you can progress into the module for September. So for this, what I would recommend is if you are planning to do summer courses to boost a grade that might be below 60%, make sure that you're registered in the course by adjudication in May so that I can see that you're in the course. And then what I would do is I would conditionally admit you into the module pending everything else looks good. And then once your summer grade comes back, we'll re-adjudicate your file and we would clear the admissions conditions or adjust your file accordingly depending on the grade from summer. I just wanted to list on the screen here the prerequisite courses that are typically offered in the summer. I can verify that all of these are currently planning to be offered, but you can review the summer timetable on the Draft My Schedule now. It is live, but Chemistry 1301, 1302, Physiology 2130 is offered in the summer, which you can take in place of 1021. So if you are a student that received a grade or is going to receive a grade below 60 in Physiology 1021 this year, you can choose to take 2130 in the summer, and that's an anti-requisite. We'll use it in place. And then we're also offering the 2 first-year courses this summer, 1070 and 1241. Just gonna grab a drink and then we'll keep going. So just some important information for intent to register. If you are looking to continue in a foods and nutrition module next year, this should be your first choice on the intent to register application. The system will allow you to indicate it as a second choice, but if, for example, you put your first choice was a major in psychology and your second choice was a specialization in foods and nutrition, if you're eligible for your first choice, so say you're eligible for that psychology program, we're never going to see your application come through to my queue. So if you do want to be considered for foods and nutrition, it needs to be your first choice on the intent to register to ensure that your file reaches me. I already mentioned this before, but if you are looking at studying our accredited module, that is the nutrition and dietetics, and that's what you would need to study to become a registered dietitian. And then it is important to note, we do complete what we call a comprehensive review. So even if you have a second choice, if you don't qualify for your first choice, we'll automatically review you for the next highest level module for which you qualify before we look at your second choice. So for example, if you indicate first choice, honors specialization, nutrition and dietetics, second choice, major in psychology, for example, if you're not eligible for nutrition and dietetics, we are going to automatically assume that you still want to be a food student. So before we push you through to your second choice, we'll automatically see, is this person eligible for honors specialization foods and nutrition? If not, is this person eligible for specialization in foods and nutrition? So you don't have to indicate a second choice in foods and nutrition because we'll automatically review you for the next module if you're not eligible for the first module. I'm just going to double check that no one is, just going to indicate someone's in the waiting room. I'm just going to let them in. So what if you are a first-year student and you do not meet minimum requirements to remain in the Brescia School of Food and Nutritional Sciences? So maybe you received a module prerequisite below 60%. So for example, there's a student, maybe they received 55 in Physiology 1021 and they're not able to retake it in the summer. What are your options? So A, did you face extenuating circumstances? If you did, we do have an option to submit a letter of support, which I'm going to talk about on the next slide. And that would be reviewed by our Progressions and Admissions Committee to assess your eligibility to remain in the school. So the Progressions and Admissions Committee may say, yes, you can move into year 2, specialization foods and nutrition, but you have to retake physiology in second year. Or they may suggest something else. If no letter of support is received, you will be then reviewed for that second choice that I talked about previously, or moved to undeclared if you don't indicate a second choice. Undeclared is simply kind of a holding position where it means you're still working towards a module entrance requirement. So that would give you a chance to study to repeat those prerequisites that are below 60%. If you are an upper year student in the group and you don't meet admission requirements for a module that you're currently enrolled in, so for example, you're currently in an honors specialization module and you received a module grade below 60, because as I mentioned previously, that is a requirement to stay in an honors program. Or maybe you're in the honors specialization nutrition dietetics, but you received a module average below 75. You have 2 options again: submit that letter of support if you did face extenuating circumstances for the admissions and progressions committee to review your eligibility to stay in that module. And then again, if no letter of support is received, we would automatically review you for the next highest level modules. So if you're in dietetics and you're not eligible to progress, we would then move you to review for the special or the honor specialization foods and nutrition, and then the specialization foods and nutrition. So just in terms of the letter of support, again, if you are feeling like you'll be a first year student that won't be eligible to meet requirements for any of our modules. So at minimum, again, you'd have to have that 60% grade in all of the prerequisite courses to remain in one of our modules, the specialization, for example. Then we would encourage you to submit a letter of support if you did face extenuating circumstances. If you're an upper year student not eligible to progress within your current module. So again, maybe you're in nutrition dietetics and you received a grade below 60, you would be encouraged to submit a letter of support if you faced extenuating circumstances. It is important to note for any upper year students in the group, you cannot appeal with the letter of support into an honors specialization module. So for example, if you're in the specialization and you didn't meet the 75% cutoff, you cannot use this letter of support to gain acceptance into the honors specialization module. It's only if you're currently in the module and you want to stay in the module despite meeting progression, if that makes sense. And I can talk a bit more about that if there's any questions. Letter of supports are reviewed on a case-by-case basis. The committee usually meets in June, and then we would send a letter with the decision back to you. The letter can be found on our website. I provided the link here. We do ask for it to be submitted by April 30th, but we can be a little bit flexible up until the committee meets in June. So if you don't meet the deadline, you're still encouraged to submit one. And then if you just click on the link when the slides are available, it will take you to our intent to register page. The letter of support is at the very bottom, and you can click on letter of support and it will open it up for you. It does just ask for your information, and then there's a few questions that will have you complete just for the committee to consider. So essentially they're asking you the circumstances you faced, what steps you're going to take to be successful in the future, and then other factors that are relevant to your situation. So you don't have to fill it out in this document. If it's better, you can do it in a Word document and send it over, but definitely provide supporting documentation if you can as well, because that will help strengthen your appeal. So I'm just going to walk you all through an intent to register demonstration. I'm just going to, I have a student number that I'm going to use. I just need to locate it. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to stop sharing for 1 second. I just need to quickly grab, sorry, I had this open, but it closed. I'm just going to quickly grab the student number. And then I'll pull up the demo for you all. Okay. Just going to flip this back to the slides. Sorry about that. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to start it from the end. We don't need to go through it all again. Demo. All right, so let me just get this back on the screen. I apologize for that delay. I'm just going to open up the demo here and I can walk you through it quickly. Okay, so this is just a test site. So again, it's not live, but this is just purposes for me to show you today what it would look like. So when you open up your intent to register, this will be the page that you do see. So the first question that's asked is, are you planning to be a full-time or a part-time student next year? So for purposes today, let's say full-time. So on the screen, will display your current program. So this is obviously a test for a family studies student, but yours will say Faculty of Health Sciences, Bachelor of Science for your Foods and Nutrition, year 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to indicate if you'd like to continue in Foods and Nutrition. That will be through the Faculty of Health Sciences. And you'll hit continue. Step 3 would be to tell us the degree. So our school is located at the bottom of the drop down. So you'd be looking at the Brescia School of Food and Nutritional Sciences. And for everyone in the group, if you're looking at foods, it would be the Bachelor of Science in Foods and Nutrition. Again, this was the nursing link that I talked about previously. So if you are a student looking at that, just know that's where you'll find it. So you'll hit continue. The next step would be to select your degree and program. Let's assume that everybody in the group is, oh, I just have a question about special student in the chat. That's just for students that are coming back as second degree students. So that would be for a student that completed a prior degree and they're with us now to pursue a second degree in foods and nutrition. So step 4, degree. So I'm going to assume everyone in the group, let's say, wants dietetics. So that would be, as we talked, an honors specialization. So you would indicate an honors Bachelor of Science, Foods and Nutrition. And then this is where you tell us the module. So if you are just looking at pursuing nutrition and dietetics, you would just select honors specialization. Say you're a student that does want to do a minor in sociology, for example, you'd be able to indicate that through the plus minor. So let's just say honors specialization for purposes of the demo. And then it's going to pull up the module. So this is where you would indicate nutrition and dietetics or our foods and nutrition. And you would hit continue. It will do a final check to confirm. So it's asking you, are you sure you want to submit for Faculty of Health Sciences, Honors Bachelor of Science in Foods and Nutrition with an honors specialization in nutrition and dietetics? And if that is the case, you would hit confirm. It's going to pop up saying that was successful. If you want to add a second choice, you can. Excuse me. So again, if you are just looking at foods, you don't have to add a second choice. If you're worried that you won't be eligible to progress and you do want to be considered for maybe a module in social science or arts and humanities, you're welcome to add a second choice. But remember that we do that comprehensive review. So we'll automatically review you for the next module down if that's the case. I'm just going to go into second choice just to show you an example of a non-honors, just for demonstration purposes. So again, let's pretend this is your first choice. If you are a student that is looking at doing a specialization, I'll just show you that quickly as well. So again, full-time or part-time would be the first question. Second question is your faculty. So again, we are the Faculty of Health Sciences. Your degree. So again, if you are foods and nutrition, it would be that Bachelor of Science in Foods and Nutrition. So this student, let's say, wants to do a specialization, so doesn't want to pursue an honors. It would be a Bachelor of Science in Foods and Nutrition, 4-year program. And you'll notice that now you don't see that honors specialization. You just see the specialization. And again, the major, the minor. So let's say specialization, and then you would see the specialization. So it's pretty straightforward, especially for foods and nutrition, because we do only have the 3 modules. So hopefully that is a little bit helpful. So that is the end of the formal presentation. I'm just going to read, there's a question in the chat here. So on the draft my schedule, when I check my requirements for honors specialization in nutrition and dietetics, it says in year 1, we need a 1.0 credit from humanities. Is that correct? If you're not pursuing the concurrent, so if you are just a student that's looking at doing the honors specialization in nutrition and dietetics module on its own, you would not need humanities in first year. You would just need that prior to graduation. So that is an important note. Don't trust the Draft My Schedule degree check tool. It can be used as a tool, but it's not always accurate. So if you have any questions about that, what that's saying in terms of what you have left, always email us directly to have that confirmed. But the breadth requirements and the essay requirements, so again, the 1.0 from A, B, and C, and the 2.0 essay designated credits, they just have to be done prior to graduation. So prior to the end of your 4th year, if you're doing your degree in 4 years. Yeah, is there a counselor link or something that can help us choose our courses next year? Yes, so we do have on our website, we do have a booking link. I'm just going to go back quickly to the intent to register page just to get us back to the letter of support page just to get us back to the website link. So if you're on our website under undergraduate programs, academic advising, there is a link to make an appointment. And then there's a link to email as well, which is that same email that I did list. Second year registration is pretty straightforward. You will take all of the second year courses in the module, and then you'll take a 1.0 credit of electives. So second year is pretty straightforward. I'm here to help if needed, but just remember that you should be taking all of the 2000 level courses, which is 4 credits, and then you'd have room for 1.0 electives in your second year. And you may think of some questions as you navigate through, so don't be afraid to reach out to us if you do think of anything else when the time comes. We can definitely help. I know it can be a little bit overwhelming the first time you do it, but then it will be straightforward once you're in your upper years for sure. So I'm just going to stop the recording, but if there are any more questions, we do have some more time. I can stick around for sure. Just going to stop sharing, and I'm just going to